Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first TML webinar of 2021. On behalf of all of the TML team, I'd like to wish you a happy new year. So I'm Rita, and I will be presenting this webinar. So we're gonna start. There we go. So this webinar will cover Facebook Pixel, how to use it, how to install it, and what are the benefits of it. All right, you can always contact us at any time to ask questions, ask for the deck, or if there's any topic you would like us to talk about or any detail here that you'd like us to go further into, you can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and via email on hello@thinkmedialabs.com. So we're doing multiple webinars. And so the upcoming one is about running retargeting campaigns. So who can you retarget? How do you set them up? And what would be the ideal budget to set aside for them? And we're going to be covering all of that and more on January 19 at 1 p.m. Dubai. It's going to be just like today. So we're not going to take too much of your time. This webinar is 30 minutes long, and there will be a time at the end for questions. So if you have a question, you can type it in the Q&A box, or if you have a complex question you'd like to ask live, you can raise your hand and we'll ask you to unmute. So what is Facebook Pixel? So basically it's a tracking code. It's a piece of code given to you by Facebook that enables you to track the activity on your website on Facebook. So basically it's Facebook collecting data on what's going on your website. So it lets you track who's coming, where they're coming, which pages, and when during the day or during the month are people mostly coming into your website. So it can help you track, let's say you did a click to website ad. It can help you track how effective was it once they arrived to your website, where did they go, what pages did they prefer, which ones of your offerings did they like the most. And so that piece of code can be found on Facebook, and we're going to talk about how do you get it. And so first of all, you go into your Facebook Business Manager. Okay, you search for the Events Manager, and then you come here. So here, first of all, obviously, before you do anything, you won't have any data here in the events. And so you click on Connect a Data Source because we're collecting data from the website. And so pick web. If you have an app and you'd like to track the activity on the app, who downloaded, who purchased, who made an account. Some people install and then don't make an account, things like that. So you can put it on the app. But for today, we're going to cover web only. And so click on web and then click on Facebook Pixel and click connect. Then you'll have the chance to name your pixel. So name it your website, because if you're catering to multiple companies, or you want to open another company, you might want another website. So make sure to name things correctly, and then put the URL of your website and click continue. And so once you do that, you will get a piece of code that you can place into your website. And once you do that, your events manager will look like this. So you'll be able to see when during the month have people most likely entered into your website. When was the last, how long ago was the last person who came in? And further down the line, you can also know in which pages they went in. And so I have data. So what? So here's what the Facebook Pixel is useful for. So first of all, it helps you measure across device conversions, which means once you go into your ad, a lot of people click on the ad on their computers, others click on their phones. And so you can know which devices are coming into your website more, and so you can optimize it. Now, generally, we say 90% of people come into your website through their phones, so always have your website optimized for mobile, which is usually the best solution. So you can learn about your traffic, which is what I've been talking about. So you can know which pages people are coming into more, where they tend to spend more time, and which pages they never go into because they're not interested in. Depending, maybe you named the way you named it is just not attractive. It's not getting people to go into it. So optimizing the delivery to people who are likely to take action. What does that mean? So let's say people went into your website and went into a certain page. Let's say for us, we have offerings in retail, we have offerings for governments, and let's say, so mostly people are coming into retail. All right, so what I can do from there is, now that I know that people are coming into retail and Facebook knows who it is, I can't know for legal reasons. So Facebook does know the algorithm. And so from there, I can actually retarget through a retail ad the people who went into my retail page. And so then these people are more likely to take action on the new ad and do whatever I want them to do, whether it be register for an offering, for a webinar like this one, for a newsletter. And so I am retargeting people who already showed interest in that particular offering from my company. And so another thing you can also do with Facebook Pixel is create a custom audiences based on the website visitors. So again, based on the people who entered my retail page, I can make an audience of them. And so I can, each time I run a new ad, just have them ready instead of each time having to remake my targeting page in my ad. So I'll show you that in a moment. And so conversion campaigns. So I was just talking about them. Facebook Pixels enables you to run conversion campaigns, such as those who signed up, add to cart, purchased. So again, in my case, we have forms and we like people to fill the form and register for an email or a call or a newsletter. And so I can know who are the people who filled the form, who are the people who visited the page and then didn't fill the form. So what do I do with this? I can retarget the people who did not submit or did not fill and encourage them to fill. In other cases, let's say I had an offer and I was an online shopping website, I can know the people who came into my website but then didn't do anything. I can give discounts to people who added to cart and never filled the checkout. Give further discount to those who started checkout but never finished it. So Pixels, because it collects this data, enables you to try and push people further and further down your business's funnel, whether that funnel may be visit my website, check out my product, add to cart and check out, or visit my website, check out my, my offering and fill a form. And so you can push people through each one of these steps. And so this is done in your Facebook Business Manager inside the campaign creation on the ad set level. And so you just need to know that if you don't create the Facebook pixel and don't put it on your website, the options that I'm about to show you do not exist for you. So here we are. So once you create a campaign on the ad set level, you have a tab called conversion event. And that conversion event can be a lead, like I said, filling a form. It can be add payment info for people who started a checkout and never finished it. It could be add to cart for people who came in, checked out a few products and got out and never added anything to their cart, and on and on and on. And so, you know, there are so many options. They work for so many companies. They work for service providers like us. They work for retail businesses. There's even a donate for nonprofit organizations. And so you can really do so much with Facebook Pixel, no matter the type of company that you are. And so Once you have this data, you can create custom audiences based on them. So audiences that fit to you. So they're useful because you can target and retarget the people who have performed a certain action on your website. And it's a good way to upsell, let's say, people who already bought, and retarget those once you have a new collection that came out or a new product. And so you can really be more detailed in the way you run ads. And so this enables you to make sure that you keep the customers that you already got. So you can tell Facebook to send this particular ad to these customers. And so treat them in specific ways, if you will, or give them a special offering because of the actions that they have already performed, instead of trying to reaching out to strangers, because as we all know, keeping already existing customers is less expensive than trying to acquire new ones constantly. And so Facebook Pixels enables you to be able to keep them and give them offers and keep them connected and updated on everything you're doing. And creating custom audience, so it's so easy and it has so many useful options. And so we can target everybody who just visited the website in the past 30 days, which is, depending on the ads you're running, could be a lot of people, and that is not very targeted. And so it's not really taking advantage of all of the things that Facebook Pixel has to offer. So you can target the people who visited a specific web page. So like I was saying, let's say people visited our retail page, and now we're having this brand new offering for retail businesses that we want to run. So now we can go back and show this ad to everybody who was interested in our retail offering. You can target visitors by how much time they spent. And so let's say a lot of people have been spending a lot of time on a specific product, but not buying. And so you can know and entice people to come back and add this particular item to cart and check out. And so this is also a very interesting thing. It's not just how much time they spent, but you can target people the more time they spent in it. So the 25th percentile, the 10th, the 5th. And so it's not how long, but compared to others, how long they've been here. So let's say your average time people spend on your website is a minute. You can target people who spent a minute. You can target people who spent 3, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how specific you care to be. And so this is an example of what you can use. So I was talking about the forms that are on our website. So here's another example of this. So let's say I want to target the people who visited a specific web page that had a form on it. And so if I have a form, it means people are spending time to fill it. If the person did not spend time on that page, then they didn't fill the form. And so if they're in the 25th percentile, maybe they thought about filling the form, or they started filling it and never submitted. And I'd like to retarget these people and see if I can encourage them to fill the form and sign up for my newsletter, for example. But I don't want to bother the people who already did sign up, because again, I don't want them to get ad fatigue or get too annoyed by me sending them too many ads. And so what I do is that I target people who visit a specific web page. I include more people and say, okay, those who visited that web page, I only want those who spent time in the 25th percentile. I don't want absolutely everybody who just happened to accidentally go in. But then I want to exclude those who are already a lead. So I want to exclude those who already filled the form, so that I don't bother them too much and send them too many ads. And so this is one example of how you can take advantage of pixels and push people further and further down. And so you can do this again for people who added to cart, people who never finished checkout, people who started checkout and never paid, and so on. And so the last thing we're going to cover is lookalike audience. So it's not just that I'm targeting the exact people who visit my website or add it to cart. I also want to target the people who look like them or are their friends or are likely to behave like them. And so this is how, through pixels, I don't only retarget my existing customers, but get new ones that are very much potentially likely to take action, add to cart, and purchase my offerings. And so the source for the lookalikes will be my pixel. And then let's say my event is purchase. So look for people who are similar to those who already purchased things on my website. And so I want others who will do the same and who will come and buy from me. And so you can decide how narrow, like how much do these people look alike? Are they really similar or are they a little less? And so that's selected through the audience size here at the bottom on step 4. And so 1% is very, very small and detailed and specific. And so you don't want to be that narrow. 4% is usually a good thing. Now, of course, the narrower, the better, but it depends on the actual size of your audience and the number of purchases that you've had. If they're not many, if you have 1,000 or 2,000, it's still not very much. So you don't want to narrow down too much your targeting. And so always remember in step 3 to put your locations depending on where do you deliver if you deliver online, or where your store is if you're an offline store. And so thank you so much for attending this webinar. We are a team of business growth specialists, and we work with the business owners and government. And we focus on things like customer acquisition strategies, customer retention, retail business, and we also do startup events and startup development programs. And so for any questions, you can ask them now in the Q&A. You can raise your hand and I'll unmute you. And you can also visit our Facebook page, Think Media Labs. You can also come to our Instagram at Think Media Labs, or you can send us a private WhatsApp message if you'd like to ask about any offering. Visit our website, thinkmedialabs.com, or send us an email on hello@thinkmedialabs. We'll be happy to hear from you, see if you've benefited from this webinar, what other questions you have, and if there are any topics that you would like us to cover, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We would really love to know what you'd like to learn more about. So thank you so much for attending, and hopefully I'll get to see you again in upcoming webinars. Thank you.